Howdy, y'all, and welcome to David's Saturday Night Sit Back. I'm David, and when I started this podcast, I had no idea what it was going to be about. After the first 12 episodes came out, I was approached by a 17-year-old in the gym who told me that a year earlier he was so miserable that he tried to take his own life. He's alive, he's thriving, and he's joining the military now. But in that moment, I knew exactly what this podcast was going to become. I am on a mission to find hidden gems in Austin, Texas, and give them a platform with one mandate: to tell personal stories that will light the internal fire within the audience as they navigate the dark night of their journey. My end game for this podcast is that one day I have thousands of emails from people all over the world telling me how these stories gave them the courage to take their dreams, turn them into goals, and chase those goals until they become reality. That said, if today's episode impacts you, email your story to sitbackwithdavid@gmail.com. Let me introduce you to one of my favorite people in Austin, Texas. Imagine being the quiet person in the room that people underestimate at first. Not because you have nothing to say, but because you're observing everything. Imagine your parents splitting up when you're 5 years old, getting bullied in school, learning early that pain can either harden someone or deepen them. So instead of becoming louder, you become more thoughtful. Music becomes therapy. Art becomes language. And somewhere along the way, you start realizing you feel the world differently than most people around you. Because some people don't just look at life, they absorb it. And what's interesting about people like that is from the outside, they can seem quiet. But once you finally sit back with them, you realize there's an entire universe hidden underneath the surface. Tonight's guest is returning for a second time. He's an artist, a guitarist, a deep thinker, and one of the most uniquely introspective people that I know. Sitting back with me today is Julian Kennedy. Julian, thank you for who you are. Thank you for being here, and welcome to your second episode on David's Saturday Night Sit Back.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, what's going through your head after hearing that?
Nothing. It was
Nothing. Blank slate.
No, it was. I was good to hear. That was really kind words.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, I really like you, so
Appreciate
I try to say kind things to the people I like and mean things to the people I don't know.
That's a good way to be. That's a good way to be. Really filters them out.
Well, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts today, I'm going to show Julian some pictures. If you want to see them, they will be embedded in the YouTube video.
God.
So go ahead and hop over there. Why do you say, oh, don't look. You're cheating.
Okay.
Why'd you be looking that general direction? I'm uncomfortable. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
Yeah, you cheater. No, I should do a better job at keeping my book up. All right, you want to go back in time with me?
Sure, yeah.
So I want to answer one question today in the next 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Who is Julian? Before I show you the first picture, would you like to take a stab at answering that?
Who am I?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of things I could say to answer that question. I could talk about what I do, talk about my personality, talk about how would you like me to answer that question?
Non-surface level stuff. So I feel like all the stuff not all of it, but we know guitarist, artist, but your work doesn't define you as a person.
Yeah.
Maybe yours does.
I think that's one of the hardest questions to answer, to be honest. I think, because most of the time when you ask someone, like, who are you, they say, like, their profession, their job, their personality, but I don't know. That is a really difficult question to answer, but...
You want to know how your mom answered it?
How?
He is a quietly, highly intelligent, and sensitive being who observes much more than you'd ever suspect at first glance. Julian is very sensitive in a good way to physical, spiritual, and psychological matters. He's very kind, very gentle. He's suffered more than a lot of people have for his age. And from that suffering, he's become a very strong individual and gained a good 360 perspective. If he were a tree, he has a very strong trunk from the suffering he went through early in life. He has mental fortitude, and it's beautiful to see him grow.
Oh, that's really nice. Wow. I don't understand that about me.
Speaking of which, I'm glad I read that because I forgot. I have a thank you gift for you coming back on the show today.
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
And because it was your birthday in March. So a late happy birthday to you.
No, let's open it. I appreciate that. You did not have to do that. What do we got here? Oh, hell yeah.
Yes!
I haven't gotten a Lego set since I was like 11 years old. something like that. It's been like 10 years. That's so cool.
I was hoping they had a guitar or
No, this
something
is
musical.
great. I love the Karate Kid. You got the bonsai tree.
Yes,
it's like one
sir.
of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
This is awesome.
when your mom made the tree comment and I saw that one, I was like, I'm gonna get him a tree.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's so thoughtful. Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
That really means a lot. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, dude. Happy birthday. It means a lot that you took the time to drive an hour and a half and be on the show today.
Yeah, of course. This right here. This is so cool. I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna put that on my ottoman my TV sits on. In my living room.
Awesome.
It's
Hell
so
yeah.
Cool. I got so much stuff like that I kind of collect, that I kind of put on there. So that's going on there next. But thank you so much. That really means a lot.
You're welcome. You want to jump back in time with me?
Absolutely. Let's do it. Oh God.
Julian with rockets down his
What
back
am
of his
I doing?
pants. What
Look how
are you
big
doing?
look how big my fucking shorts are.
I thought you were going to say your head.
Well, yeah, that too.
Just
but
the way the camera's angled and the way you're
of
holding
course,
your neck
of course,
back.
she gave you that one. I knew she was gonna do that, or something like that. But yeah, that's. Yeah. What is this? Oh God. Oh yeah. It was my old bedroom. And when we lived in Louisiana, Monroe, we had this little house. It was a 1-story. And that's the house Well, we had a house before that, but I don't really remember that one. But yeah, that's my brother, right there, and it's my old bed. And my dad actually, my dad actually made both these.
Are those
right here.
Lego sets or?
No, these are they were like on wood, and he like painted them, and you kind of see them.
Oh yeah. Okay, I can tell now.
Yeah, that's cool. I haven't seen this picture in so long. I still have those lamps.
Nice.
Yeah.
What comes back to memory for you as you look at this?
I don't know, like a time where, you know, your world was like really small, but not in like a good way, where there wasn't really, you know, there was like literally no worries at all.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know, this period was like, and I don't really remember it, but it was like the last very few memories I have of my parents being together, but it was from what I can remember, it was a very happy point in my life from what I can remember. I can't remember any specific stuff from that period, but it was a very carefree kind of time. I think this, if I had to guess, I think this is about maybe a year before we moved to Austin. Before my parents split up, but
Where were you guys?
in Louisiana.
That's right. I knew that.
Oh, it's Monroe, Louisiana.
Yeah,
where
I knew
I
you
was
grew up
from.
in Louisiana.
But yeah, no, that was a long time ago. That's crazy. I haven't seen this picture in so long. But yeah, no, that was a time where it was like the last. I feel like, and I want to get like morbid, because I feel like I've had a really, really good childhood. I feel like, you know, I don't really have a whole lot to complain about, and you know, I have, at the end of the day, I still have 2 parents that are alive and well, and they both care about me very much, and you know, very fortunate, you know, very fortunate child, and I'm very fortunate still, and I have a very good relationship with both my parents, so I'm very grateful for that. But I kind of think of this as like right before, you know, this is when I had the last time I had like a, you know, together family, you know, and I feel like, you know, most people, you know, especially nowadays, feel like there's a lot more, you know, divorced parents and everything. So I think a lot of kids go through that, you know, but yeah, for at least some like my life, this was the last. There was like, at least in my head, from what I observed, this was the last memory I had of like having like a, I guess like normal kind of family dynamic. But yeah, that's kind of what I got from that picture.
I really liked this one.
Oh yeah, I love this picture. This is me and my mom, and she was in her old studio at that same house. She had this little, it was like this little shack right outside of the house, and I think it was a shed at one point, and she built it. I can't remember, but yeah, no, I remember hanging out in there with my brother, and like watching my mom paint, and like we were just sitting there, and I can't remember, but I think there's a picture out there of like me and my brother like completely covered in paint, and we're both like in our diapers, and we're like I think like 4 and 6 years, no, like 3 and 5 years old or something like that. And yeah, no, I this is one part I vividly remember is like hanging out in that studio all the time with my mom while she was painting, and when she had like really short hair. But yeah, this was when I lived in Louisiana. It was a good little house. I kind of miss that house. That was a nice house. It's 1 story, not too big, not too small. It's perfect size to me. And yeah, I feel like, the funny thing is like I still to this day I go hang out with my mom in her studio when I go home. Like I still do the same shit. I'll go, I come home from like San Marcos for like a weekend, or I'm coming to drop some paintings off to get picked up to go to the gallery, and I sit down and hang out with my mom while she's in her studio. I've been doing that my entire life, even all the way back then. Still doing it. I'm 21 when I go home. So yeah, what was that one?
This one's a little bit more recent, but I love that she sent me this one because I like seeing you happy. And in this picture, you seem just genuinely at peace.
Oh yeah, this was me and my mom, my first apartment, right after I graduated high school. This was my mom helping me kind of like unpack everything and like micromanaging me. Like she had to like everything, like she had to decorate everything, and like she was like bossing me around the whole time. She still does that to me. She like one time so my stepdad has a truck. He's like a big truck, and I can't fit certain size paintings in my car. So she has to like she said she could drive it down to come pick them up, and I was like, "Great, thank you." And she gets there, and I was like, "Oh my god!" The second she gets in the apartment, she's gonna start rearranging shit. And I was just playing. I was like, I'm just gonna walk out there and meet her down there with the painting, so she doesn't come up and start like rage cleaning, because she does that. Like,
You didn't went
but
free
sure
cleaning?
enough, well, I mean, you'd think that, but me and my brother, we deep cleaned the entire apartment with that day before she got there. It looked great, but like, she sees one little crumb on the ground, it's the end of the world. But anyway, she was like, I'm coming up to check on your apartment. I want to see what y'all are doing up there. So she comes up, and then next thing I know, she's like, get the vacuum out. She's like in my bathroom. I'm like, Mom, you gotta relax. She's like, you need to change this air filter. What are you doing? You're gonna die. Like, you're gonna suffocate when you're sleeping. You need to change your air filter. You need to, she was like, just,
while you're sleeping.
I mean, you know how you know how moms are. Like, she just came in there and started like moving shit around and like, you live like heathens, and it was like completely clean. Everything was like organized, like we just vacuumed, all the counters were wiped down. She was like, how do you live like this? You live like slobs. I'm like, Mom, because her place, like her house, like my mom's house, it's like so clean all the time. Like there is not a speck of dirt at my mom's house anywhere. Like you go there, it's like perfectly clean. On every square inch of that house is like squeaky clean. So anything that's not that, she will lose her shit. So, but that kind of makes me think of this because she did the same thing. She was like, she wouldn't let me do anything. I remember sitting on my couch at this apartment. I was trying to get my TV to work, so I was trying to set it up, and I was like working on it. She was like, you're not doing anything. And then I get up and try to like, okay, what do you want me to do? She's like, just sit down, and you're not going to do it right. You're not going to do it the way I want it to. But yeah, that's what that makes me think of. And I think in that picture I was laughing at her for doing some like shit like that. She was like freaking out about the way that I like propped up the pillows on the couch, You know, because she has to have like a million pillows on everything, like a million pillows. Like I would always like argue with her when I was in high school because like she would want like 50 pillows on my bed, and I just wanted like maybe four max, like two big ones and then two ones I sleep on. I think that's totally fine. But then she was like, like I would say like three quarters of my bed was filled with pillows. I'm like, Mom, I don't even use these pillows. And there was this big long pillow that was just so frustrating, and I'd always like throw it under my bed because I was like, I couldn't even lay down on my bed during the day because it was just. I think I was like maybe like 15 or 16, and we got in this argument about this one pillow because I was like, Mom, why do we need a million pillows and everything? There's like, I want to sit on the couch, but there's no room because there's so many fucking pillows. But yeah, I think that's what I was laughing about because like she loves her pillows.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like my childhood friend Drew, female Drew, her parents. I've been over to their house a bunch of times, and same thing. It's always immaculately clean, and so many pillows on the couch. You
Oh,
almost
yeah,
can't
yeah.
sit down.
I don't know what's up. I think every woman when they turn like 40, they're like they need to have like a million pillows. Cause like my friends, like their parents do the same thing, or their moms do the same thing.
My mom doesn't do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe she's well.
Wow.
I'm a weirdo though, so she's probably a little weird herself. And yeah, pillows is not her thing. All
My
right,
mom loves her pillows.
I'm gonna show you a couple more pictures all at once, and we're just gonna see what comes up for you.
All right.
Is you drawing?
Remember that one?
You do or don't?
I do not remember that. I got a terrible haircut though. I think that's when my mom cut my hair. That was me when I was born.
You don't remember that one.
Obviously not. Oh yeah, that was that picture was that was like when I first got into my first gallery at Laura Rathy, and she was taking a picture of me, and this was the first time my work was up at a gallery, like a real gallery, and it was really cool, and yeah, that was the first time I got to go to one of those events and actually be an artist that was showing there, and it was really cool. So I would say that was like the beginning of my art career, which, and it's already gotten like so much crazier since then. So
I like
that
that she's
was
the one of you drawing too as a
Yep.
kid.
I've been doing
Been
it
an
my
artist
entire
for
life.
a long time.
Entire life. There's you and me. First time I was here. Oh God, I hate that picture.
My.
I didn't shave. I didn't shower. My mom was like, "We need a picture for your website. Stand right there." And then she just made me like pose. And then I remember getting there and I was like, "Mom, I haven't like showered. I need to like shower. I need to shave. I haven't had a haircut in like 5 months." Like, and she was like, "No, we need it now." And then, and she likes that picture. I hate that picture.
Well, I think you look very handsome in that picture.
Thank you. I don't know. I look homeless in that. Oh, that was the most. That was the most recent one, I think. That was I think it was like a month ago, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and that was when the Austin Gallery just opened in the Laura Rathy Austin. I think you came there, and we just missed each other.
Yeah.
But this was a few days, or I think this wasn't the opening. This was like a few weeks after that. So this was when my mom she was doing like a show with her and then this other artist, and we have a few of her pieces at my mom's house. She's super talented too. But they did a show together, and then I had 2 of my pieces up as well. And yeah, I think this was the time. No, this was the day after, because there was like a designer opening with like interior designers, and there was like a wine tasting and stuff. I think I think all the wine tastes the same. I don't know if that's just me. I just think I think wine tastings are kind of stupid. Like there was like some guy, and he was a cool dude. Like he was a really nice guy. Got free wine, free alcohol, so I'm not complaining at all. But I've had red wine from the gas station for $5, and then I've also had that there was like an $800 or like $1,000 bottle of red wine, like aged or something from like some fucking town in Italy or something. And to me, it tastes exactly the same. There's like no difference. And I was kind of sitting there, and they were like, "Can you taste like the aged whatever the fuck?" And I'm like,
No.
"Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
100%." Like, it really? No, I could not though. I think it. I don't know. I don't think it's just the same. Like, if you took $5 wine, $1,000 bottle of wine, cannot tell the difference. It's the same thing to me. But maybe there's something wrong with me. I don't know. But
There's definitely something wrong with you. And thanks,
maybe.
because 1% of the audience just clicked off.
Oh no. Well, sorry for losing your viewer.
No, I don't think we have a lot of. I would imagine that the people listening to this podcast are not wine. They're not.
Wine
They're not going to
enthusiasts.
tastings at the
Ugh.
Chestave de Tete, whatever that secret club of wine snobs is.
I
I
don't know
can't
what it's
remember right
called.
now.
I don't either. But that was a cool day, though. That was I did like these 2 portraits, and they were hung up with like 36 by 36. I was pretty happy with those. Those are my 2 most recent ones. So this was, I think it was like 3 weeks ago. I might be wrong. I can't remember. But
That's a good outfit, by the way. It made me want to
Thanks.
go out and buy some black cargo pants.
all I needed to do was get a haircut by then. But, you know, I just wanted to grow the hair out, but I got a cut finally. So
It looks good.
thanks. But yeah, that was a good day.
In general, are you happy?
Oh yeah,
Good.
definitely. A lot happier, and I feel like, as time goes on, especially since like my art career has been really taking off in the last 6 months. That's been really great. I feel like a lot less stressed, and like there is like times where I get stressed about it, but like it's stress over something that I'm like really proud of, something that I you know really put a ton of work into, and all it's all kind of paying off, and I have so much more, like a long way to go, but to me that's really exciting because, like, I don't know, it's just like I've had this crazy opportunity to be in this really prestigious gallery, and I remember like the fact that people are buying stuff that I'm making is still like completely mind blowing to me, and the fact that I'm able to like make a living doing that at like 21 years old. Like most people that I know in art school, and people I've met that are in art school, they're not even close to that yet. And for me to like be as fortunate to have this crazy opportunity, and not only have the opportunity but have it like work out, is absolutely crazy. Like, it's just insane. I'm still like processing it. It's been 6 months since like I sold my first piece, so.
And we don't have to get into numbers, but Julian did tell me these aren't $50 paintings he's slinging.
No.
You're getting you're
not.
getting
They're not
you're getting
$50.
acknowledged. We will say
Yeah,
that.
we will say that.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah, if you want to see how much they are, go to the Laura Rathy Gallery here in
yeah,
Austin, Texas.
go to the Galore Rathy Gallery in Austin, Texas, or in Houston, Texas, because they got some few pieces over there, and Laguna Beach, California. Just got into that gallery. That one's pretty cool. The guy, I talked to the guy that owned that. He's a pretty cool guy.
Did you go out there?
No, not yet. I've been there I've been there one time, and I think I was a senior in high school, and I went with some friends. We went surfing out there because one of my friends his family has a house out there. It was like super fun. But that was the last time I've been there. But I hope to go there, if I start selling over there, because I just got into that gallery, and I only have 2 pieces out there. So if those end up selling and it ends up going well, then I'd love to go out there. Super cool. It's a beautiful area. So yeah.
Talk to me about your parents' divorce from your perspective.
It's very complicated. I feel like as a child, and I'm sure like a lot of people can relate to this, because there's a lot of people I know have divorced parents. But it was kind of messy. It was really weird. Like, my mom and dad did not really get along very well, and it was like super complicated, and there's always like, 2 sides to every story and everything. But at least the way I felt as a kid is there was never stability. We were, first of all, we were always moving, moved like once a year or once every 2 years or something like that. And the house that we're in right now, or my mom lives in right now, is the longest. Like, I think we had that house for like 10 years. But yeah, it was it felt like I was kind of being torn, like pulled in two different directions, and like, you know, it was weird. I felt like I almost had to like take a side, you know, and like my parents did not get along at all. Like I feel like most parents, when, or not most, maybe not, like I don't know, but I feel the friends I do have that have divorced parents, like they're able to kind of get along, and like I don't want to say like it's like so and so's fault or it's my mom's fault or my dad's fault, because I don't know. There's just it's very complicated. There are lots of different perspectives and different takes on stuff, but at least the way I felt going through it is I remember really wanting my parents to work it out, and I remember like writing my mom a letter when I was like 5 or 6, like wanting like please, you know, like make it work out, but you know I didn't know any better. I was only like 5, but you know it was tough because they got divorced and we had to move to Austin, moved away from friends I had there, but I was only 5. I don't really remember a whole lot about living in Louisiana. I mean, I have like memories, but not like I have meaningful memories there, but not enough for me to like, you know. But anyway, I feel like it made. I had a really hard time in elementary school, like a really really hard time. I did not have a whole lot of friends, and like I feel like I was going through all this stuff, and like a lot of my friends at the time, and all my friends in elementary school, I was the only one that had divorced parents, and like it was something like that I would kind of like carry around. I remember, um, and it's also kind of hard to remember certain things from elementary school, but I remember feeling like, you know, because I felt like I was being like pulled in two different directions by both my parents, I kind of felt like I couldn't talk to either of them about what I was feeling because I didn't want to offend them. And like obviously as like a 6-year old or a 7-year old child, you shouldn't like have to feel that way. And I know my mom, and I know she never would have like and also my dad, like they never would have like like shamed me for like expressing the way I feel as like 7 years old, but I felt like that. So a lot of it I kind of just like I wanted to like make sure I didn't hurt my dad's feelings, I didn't hurt my mom's feelings by expressing the way I felt. So I kind of like harbored a lot of that and didn't really talk about any of it. And it felt very isolating. I felt very isolated because I didn't really feel like I had anyone to talk to about it. So I kind of pushed a lot of people away. I was very reserved at that age, like in elementary school. I was super shy. I did not like talking to people. I was super anxious. So a lot of the times at recess, I would, you know, spend recess by myself. I go to the picnic tables and um, get my sketchbook and draw stuff. But yeah, I didn't really hang out with anyone. I hated recess. I remember that. I did not like recess.
Because you were forced to socialize,
No,
potentially?
I because I was by myself, and I knew that like I was the only person sitting by myself, and I was like people are looking at me, and they like of course like a fucking elementary schooler is gonna say something. Why are you by yourself? And I was like, I'm like I don't know, dude. Like fuck off. But
Why don't you take a seat and then I won't be by myself
I
anymore?
know, but they just kind of like made fun of me and then left, and like I was just like, well, people are mean, so I'm definitely not going out there to talk to anybody. So I was very discouraged to like go and make friends, and like I was not like I was very like a lot of like social anxiety at that age, and a little bit in middle school as well. I found some good friends around like I would say late 7th grade, but definitely in 8th grade as I found a good friend group, and that was kind of the first time I had like a solid group of friends. And I had a few like friends in elementary school, but we moved around so much that it was hard to like grow those and like get like a really strong bond with someone. But you know, as I would leave all the time, and um, but like middle school is pretty horrible too. I got relentlessly bullied a lot. I was kind of a smaller kid, glasses, and you know, I had like I liked very kind of like nerdy things. I remember getting made fun of, and a lot of the, so there was like, I think it was like 6th, 7th grade, something like that, where, you know, I don't know if like, you know, in like the popular girls, like they like the sped kid, they'll like pretend to be his friend because like he's like special. And they'll be like, "Hi, best friend, you're my." I was treated like that in elementary school, and it was really like dehumanizing, and it sucked. And like I was like, you know, I'm not like slow, right? I'm normal. I just like, you know. And they're like, they would like take pictures with me, and like they would like take pictures of me in the hallway, and I'd like see them, and I was like, fuck you, like, God. But
They would take pictures with you or of you.
both,
What would they do with these?
just like send them to their friends, and like I kind of found out about them in like seventh grade. I was like, you know, it just made me more discouraged to go out and like try and make friends, you know, because like I was like, damn, these kids are fucking mean, and like middle schoolers are like fucking terrible. Like they're horrible. Like if you're like one of like the quieter kids or like you're like nerdier or whatever, like or like emo or what, you get like just relentlessly torn to shreds in because that's when the hierarchy starts, you know. So
Yes.
I was like at the bottom of the food chain for quite some time until around eighth grade when I found a good friend group. And a lot of that friend group was like me kind of like reconnecting with old like people I knew and like friends I had in elementary school when I was in like first through like third grade, people I remembered. Um, but yeah, you know, it sucked because like I also had like some of the other kids that would like pretend to be my friend because they thought it was funny to like, and I genuinely thought they were like trying to be friends with me. Like in the hallway, they'd come up to me like, "Yo, Julian, what's up, bro?" But and I in my head, I was like probably 11. I thought they were like actually like my friend or like they were wanted to be my friend, but they were just kind of making fun of me. And I remember coming to that realization in seventh grade, and I was like, dude, fuck, like, how did I not see this? Like, I bet that just made me look even more ridiculous. Like, they're probably making fun of me all the time. So I was just so anxious. But I got a grip on it in high school, and like, I get like kind of locker room in middle school. I think about like seventh grade. Like, oh, ow.
His dick took out the entire studio. You fat piece of shit.
Oh my god. But yeah, I get kind of like shoved around in the locker room, kind of like that kind of stuff.
Would you shove back?
No, because I was a really small kid, and that's what got me into like boxing, and like I think I started training a lot of like combat sports because of like getting bullied all the time and feeling really weak, and like, you know, I got real into boxing and combat sports and stuff because I was like, I don't ever want to like feel that weak again, ever. So I got really into working out in high school, wrestling in high school, boxing, like all that shit. I was like, I'd never want to like, I never want anyone to like shove me around like that and fuck with me like that again, because that was like the most dehumanizing years ever. Hated that, but yeah.
Yeah, when I I had a period of like that myself in
Yeah,
like eighth grade through
it's fucking
I think
awful.
eighth grade and freshman year were the worst, especially because my parents homeschooled us.
Oh yeah.
So we didn't get to really observe any other kids and learn like social norms and whatnot.
Hmm.
So when they put us in school, well, he was a junior, but I was in the eighth grade. And I remember just feeling so out of my element. People would laugh about like a joke, and then I would just sort of laugh along, even though I didn't really get it. And then I
Yeah.
really wanted to say something funny, and I just had absolutely nothing to say. And then people would make fun of me for being gay, and I would go home. And I remember when I got home, I'd go to my room, close the door, and I would just play with Legos.
Yeah.
Ironically,
I
and I just
was
wanted to go ahead.
I can't even imagine like how that was for you. Like, I got bullied pretty bad, but I mean, I'm sure like, you kind of mentioned, glaze over it a little bit last time we talked, or I was here, and like that just sounds terrible because like how middle school kids are. They're fucking really mean. So, you
What would
know.
you do after school when you were going through the worst periods?
That's what got me like I would really get really into guitar, and I was really
Ah.
into comic books, and I was super into that stuff, and I would go and make up my own like science fiction universes and worlds and stuff, because it kind of like helped me like escape from like that, and I got to enter this own world that I created with characters I made up and like scenes that I would draw. And you know, really into video games too. I was obsessed with Halo. That was like my favorite.
We talked
That's
about
my
that.
favorite game franchise.
Real quick, what Halo was your favorite?
Reach, of course. Halo Reach, easily.
I was hoping you would say 2, but we'll agree to disagree.
No, Halo Reach. Halo Reach is the best one. I will stand on that till I die.
That's my least favorite one.
Are you fucking serious?
I liked it, but of all of them, when I finished Reach, I was sort of just like,
all
meh.
of them? You thought Halo 5 was better than Halo Reach.
I may have not ever played 5.
Okay, well
I can't remember 5.
You would Halo 5, the story was like really bad, but I actually, people shat on that game so much, but I absolutely loved the multiplayer. I was so fucking good at that game. I played that game so much in middle school. I was so fucking good at it. I was top of the leaderboard every fucking time. I play Legendary Warzone just on repeat. The game mode, fucking sick. But Reach was definitely my favorite. But I was really into video games and comic books and kind of like these different worlds. I read a lot of Marvel comics, and I was real into the Flash and like Spider-Man and Batman, and like, you know, I had this huge comic book collection, you know, because I would go on Amazon and I'd, you know, look at stories I wanted to read, and I would buy them, and then I'd copy the characters down in my sketchbook, and I would like, and that's kind of what got me into figurative painting and figure drawing, is because of my obsession with comic books in middle school, because they had these like crazy dynamic poses that I thought were really badass, and I was like, and then that kind of just subconsciously went into like the type of paintings I make now. So it's kind of where that came from, was comic books.
I could see that now that you say it.
Yeah.
Because I've seen your work, obviously, and I've never thought comic books, but now that I know the root story.
Because I did this series of ballerinas, and that's because I love dramatic poses and dramatic lighting, and that came from comic books. It came from all the Batman comic books I had, and like the Flash comics and Spider-Man comics, all that shit. Avengers comics. But yeah, that's where all that came from. The art I make now, and the art that I make a living off of, kind of roots in comic books.
Well, to all your bullies, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Because now you're wildly successful
Thanks,
because of
asshole.
them. Exactly. So your mom told me that you were being bullied for a while, and then you finally opened up to her about it one day.
Yeah, I remember that. I think I was like late in high school when I really kind of like told her about it. And I kind of just told her I would get made fun of, and like the names they'd call me, and like just being really like.
What names would they call you?
I had like a really bad unibrow, so they'd call me unibrow a lot. And they would call me just like names. I was really, really skinny, like super underweight, so they'd make fun of me for that a lot. But the main one I remember is unibrow, because I had a fucking like thick bar across my eyes. But got that under control now, so that was elementary school. And I looked back at pictures, and it really wasn't even that bad. Like, I had some, like, it was definitely connected, but it wasn't like that. But that's what they fucking, called me. Because, like, I have very thick eyebrows, and I feel like it makes more sense with my face now because I'm older. But when I was younger, like, I just was like this, like, 12-year-old kid with, like, just black, like, caterpillars on right above my eyes. But, yeah, so.
Why'd you tell her that day?
I don't know. I don't remember. I think we were, like, talking about something related to that, and I think she might have asked me. And I was like, well, it's been long enough, And I remember, like, I didn't want to tell, like, anybody about it because I was like, I don't want people to, like, worry about it. I didn't want anyone to call the principal and then, like, get some kids in trouble, and then they would, like, know that I said something, and then it would get worse.
And you're the snitch.
Yeah, exactly. So I just kind of kept it to myself and just kind of tanked through all of it. And then, high school was fine. I got I would say I had an overall pretty good high school experience, but it was like middle school and elementary school that were the worst. Because in high school, like I got a really solid group of friends, and everyone's got like high school bullshit, like fucking some like breakup or whatever. Like not everyone goes through that shit though, but like, but overall, I had a really good high school experience. I had great time with all my friends. We're having fun like every fucking day. And I'm still friends with all of them to this day. We're all really close. And yeah, but I would just say the worst of it was elementary school and middle school.
You remember how your mom responded?
Yeah, she was horrified. She like started crying, I think.
Aw.
It's always so hard for me to like remember, because like when people ask me about it, like it's really hard for me to remember like what exactly happened. And I think it's like, I read something where like your brain kind of like cuts off certain. You ever heard of that? Like,
Yeah, my therapist told me about that.
yeah. So I think that happens, especially when people ask me about it on the spot. Like, it's not that I like don't like. It's not that I'm like uncomfortable talking about it. It's like I genuinely just cannot remember it. But I do know that I told my mom certain things, and she probably remembers way better than I do. But I talked to her about it for a while, and like she was like horrified. I think she started like, crying or something. I remember like she told me like I would come crying like in elementary school in like first, second grade, like get in the car crying and like, Mom, I don't fit in or something like that. Like I don't remember personally, and I know it probably happened, like, but she would tell me that I'd get in the car, like all that shit. So, but yeah, she was like pretty upset to hear that.
She's a good mom to you,
Yeah,
isn't
she's
she?
a great mom. I love my mom.
Therapy's interesting because one of those moments in high school, no, middle school, did come back. Because I'm the same way as you. People tell me like, "What did the bullying look like?" I'm like, I don't really remember, to be honest. I just
Yeah,
know it happened. But therapy's
same
an
way.
interesting thing because I've had different memories get unlocked. And one time I remembered one of them.
Oh,
I
really?
was bawling in my therapist's office, and it literally happened like 27 years ago or something like that. But getting the memory come back, it almost felt like I was back in the moment. It was
Oh,
it
yeah.
was weird.
That's never happened to me before. I think I've built up so much like walls against that, I just don't want to think about it, because I feel like I like intentionally reinvented myself to like never ever feel like that again. So I feel like I have so many walls up to like I can't even remember it if I tried. So, but
And then I come along and I'm just peppering. Sorry.
what were the things that like that you remembered?
So my best friend was a girl named Ashley, and she was black.
Mm-hmm.
And these kids went to the vice principal and told him that that we were allegedly like making out behind one of the buildings. And so the administration brought us to the office and told us that we weren't allowed to be friends anymore, that we could never
What?
talk, and if they saw us talking, we'd like get detention or something. And I remember after I walked out of the principal's office, I saw her across the basketball court, and she just had this crushed look on her face, and
That's
she
so
had
sad.
tears coming down her eyes. And that was what made me cry, was when I remembered what her face looked like. I was just like, my God,
Yeah.
fucking racism is a very bad thing,
Oh yeah.
because we
Especially
all
like,
know that's why the kids.
yeah,
I think that's
and they
what,
get it from somewhere, Like I think also like when you're that age, like you will say anything that's on your mind. There's no filter, And I think that's why bullying is so bad when in middle school and that kind of age is like they just don't think, about what they're gonna say or like how it's gonna affect somebody, But yeah, that's really fucked up. It's really sad.
There is
Wow.
one moment that was sort of special. Is the school was next to a church,
Oh
and one
really?
time I went into the church just to sort of get away from everyone, and there's only one other girl in there, and I'll keep her name private because the nature of the story. But I went and sat down with her, and I was like, "Why are you in here?" And she is like, "My dad makes me strip naked for money
What?
in front of like his guy friends,
Holy shit.
and uh, and they paid him the money, not her."
Oh my god,
And
that's like fucking awful. Holy
and
shit.
she says, "Why are you in here?" I said, "Because I'm gay." And we both looked at each other and just burst out laughing. And I
Oh my
think the
god.
laughter in hindsight was maybe just like,
It's like trauma kind of thing.
yeah. We
Oh
were
my
really good
God.
friends after that.
That is horrible. Jesus Christ. Wow. There's truly fucking evil people out there. I truly believe like people that are like that, they deserve death. I think. I think, you know, that's what I think. I think that's the most evil thing
Yeah.
anyone can do.
It's sad.
Yeah.
Well, one more thing that I think probably made you into the person you are today, and then we'll move on to some more happy, positive stuff. We'll just like laugh and whatnot. Talk to me about the year 2021.
What about it?
What was going on in your family, specifically with your mom's
Oh yeah.
brother?
So
Is this hard for you to talk about, or are you okay with
not
it?
really. I feel like I got, I've accepted it and everything. But what happened was, so my uncle, he was, I remember when I was a kid, like he was like the fun uncle, and like I admired him when I was a kid because he was so fun all the time. He was funny, like, when he was like sober, he was like my favorite uncle to hang out with, and like I had a pretty good relationship with him, and he like taught me how to like start working out and everything, and like he's the first person that told me, he's like, your tricep is like 2/3 the size of your arm, so he's like, if you want big triceps, you work or big arms, you want to work your triceps out, and he's like, you want to hit that long head right there, and I was like, okay. So he's the one that like helped me get into working out because he was like really jacked and really big, and I was like, I want to look like him. I was like probably like 12, 11 years old, and he was, he'd come to the, that board game Risk.
Yeah.
He got me real into that. It's like my favorite board game now. And we would like, play it all the time, and it was like get super fucking heated. We played for like 6 hours straight, but it was super fun. And like he was one of those guys. It's really sad, like alcoholism and drug addiction, especially because like who they are as a person, like without that stuff. Like if they didn't have that addiction, if they didn't have, all that shit, they would, you can see that. You can see through it sometimes. You can see they're a good person. You can see they have a good heart. And I think deep down he was a really good guy. He just had like, he played football in high school, and like this was back in the 90s when they didn't really know anything about CTE. So his brain was like super fucked up. Like he had like a lot of like decay because of all the head injuries he had.
Mhm.
But it was November of 2021. I was a junior in high school, and I was in second period, and I remember it very, very vividly. I was in second period, and it was the class just got out, and it was a normal day. My mom calls me, and I'm like, I'm in class. I'm gonna call her later. She kept calling me, called me over and over. I was like, okay, something's up. So I answer. I'm like, hello, and she immediately, without saying anything, your uncle killed himself. He shot himself last night in the woods, and I was like, completely in shock. And I was like, what the fuck? I couldn't even like say any words. It was so shocking to me because I had just saw him like I think 2 or 3 weeks prior, and I was throwing the football with him. We were out in this like field next to my grandparents' apartment because he has a kid. I haven't seen him. He's my cousin, my little cousin. I think he was 3 years old, I think, at the time, roughly. And that was the last time I saw him. I haven't seen him in 5 or 6 years. And last time I saw my uncle, I was playing catch with him in this field next to my grandparents' apartment building. But anyway, I got this call. My mom just straight out of the gate. I know she was, I can't even imagine what she was going through. So, she calls me. She's like, your uncle, he shot himself, killed himself last night. And then that was it. Hung up the phone, and I was 1,000-yard stare all the way to my second class. I still went to my second class because I just didn't know what else to do. And it was so bad. Like, I was trying to just kind of like get through the day, and I could not. I just couldn't like think. I couldn't listen. In class, I was just so like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, this is not happening. And I kind of just got up and stormed out of the class. I didn't even say anything. My teacher was like, "Where are you going?" I just left. Went straight to the bathroom. I didn't cry or anything. I was just in complete shock. And I was sitting in, I remember I just went into the bathroom stall and just was standing there, and I felt like tears coming down my face, but it was like shock. Like, I cannot believe this is fucking happening. And I just remember not being able to feel anything but just confusion and like shock. And um, that was like kind of a catalyst for a lot of really fucked up shit that happened that year. And my mom was going through a lot. She got like super depressed. You know, she lost her brother to suicide. And because he was so addicted to like alcohol, he's had an alcohol problem for as long as I think I've been alive, probably even longer, but it just progressively got worse and worse and worse, and it destroyed my grandparents' lives. Because like he's been in and out of jail so many times, and you know, like they've had to pay for lawyers and all this stuff. And you know, it got to a point where he was so like his brain was so messed up off all the stuff he was doing that you just couldn't even really recognize him anymore. Like, you know, and it was to a point where, you know, it was like he would get drunk sometimes when I was around, but then it was just to a point where he was never sober. It really did hit me at the funeral, and that's when I kind of like everything kind of just came out, because that's when I guess I had to face it. That's when it became a reality that he was gone. And watching people that I've known my entire life, and like my grandpa cry for the first time, was such a bizarre experience. Seeing people that I've never seen cry ever, being around people, and I cried because, you know, I loved my uncle, and it was weird crying in front of people that I did not like crying in front of people. I still don't, but it was the most just devastating, horrible thing ever. And I think that was one of the hardest periods in my life, because the aftermath and the fallout of that was, you know, it took a toll on my relationship with my mom and with my brother, and with that whole side of the family. And yeah, no, it was really hard. And seeing pictures of him, like, you know, there's this one picture of me when I was really little, and me and my brother, like, we were always so excited to see our Uncle Vince. Like, you know, every time he was there, it was always like so much fun. He'd play Legos with us. He'd have like Nerf gun wars with us all the time. Like, he'd play outside with us. He would throw us around in the pool. Like, you know, it was so much fun. And just all those memories that I haven't thought of in years came back, and I just couldn't hold it together. And that caused me to get super depressed my junior year of high school, you know, and it caused me to be very isolated. And I think with my mom, when she was growing up, like, you know, she told me that, like, you know, expressing emotions and talking about your feelings was very off limits. You know, it was only positive stuff. And, you know, I think that was kind of ingrained in her. And she didn't feel like from what she told me, she felt like she had to, like, stay strong for her kids and stuff. But it just kind of turned into this thing where it was so hard for everybody. Everyone kind of shut down and, like, avoided each other. And it was a long time where our relationship as a family unit was very scattered, and everyone was kind of dealing with their own stuff by themselves. And obviously, you know, I was going through like high school bullshit, you know, like, you know, that was really horrible, because that was the same. It was only a few months after that, like, I was, you know, I got like cheated on by this girl, and it really sucked. And like, I was dealing with that on top of my uncle's suicide, and that just all these different things that were like happening in that time period, in addition to the suicide thing, just like regular high school drama bullshit, felt so much more impactful than it should have felt. Like, big deal, lost a high school girl you like talk to, you know, but
you know, or like you have some drama happen with your friends or someone like makes fun of you, some, you know, whatever happens. But like when you're going through some shit, like you lose a family member that you were really close to suicide, they killed themselves, and you think about that, and thinking about that was so weird because I had this image of him in my head up until that moment. I had this like really positive view of him. I was like, he's the fun uncle, you know, he taught me how to work out, like he's cool and always have fun with him. He was like this very positive figure in my childhood, and then that was completely destroyed. And then I feel like most of us in our family kind of saw this coming, but to me still it was a shock. It was really, really hard. But that fallout, you know, and having that to deal with, you know, I didn't know how to deal with that because I've never, up until that point, like, you know, my grandpa died when I was like in 7th grade, but, you know, I didn't really know him very well on my dad's side. But that was the first time I've really experienced not only death, but suicide. And everything that happened that year, just like high school drama, felt I wasn't in drama though. It was just normal shit you go through, you know, like, you know, you break up or whatever the fuck, you fail a test, or like, you know, you fail a class or this and that. My grades completely tanked after that. I couldn't focus in school. My self-esteem was terrible. I hated myself. I was, you know, I had a lot of really negative thoughts, you know, that kind of put me in a really bad place. But little thing that would happen that wasn't really that big of a deal, like you fail a test, big fucking deal, who cares? But to me, that was like, you're worthless, you're a piece of shit, you can't do anything right because of all this shit that happened after that thing with my uncle. But yeah.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay, but.
So now fast forward to today, and you, as you mentioned yourself, you're happy,
Yeah.
you're successful, you're surrounded by good people, or at least I think you are, based off what I know about you.
I am.
What'd that process look like to get over that?
You don't really get over something like that. It's more of like, that just becomes your new reality and you learn to cope with it. When you lose someone to not only just a death, but a suicide, you learn to cope with it you don't ever get over something like that. You just learn to accept it as reality, and you cope with it, and you continue living. Not ignoring it, but accepting that, like, this is what happened, and that is the way things are now, and I need to accept that, and I need to continue with my life with accepting that as this new reality. And it takes a lot of time, and I think obviously first stage is you confront everything. You don't push it under the rug, because I tried to do that and made it way worse. You talk about it, you know, hang out with your friends, you value your relationship, you really work on your relationship with your family, because I didn't. I had a lot of anger towards everybody in my life at that point, and that pushed me. I pushed everybody away. I was very angry with everybody in my family, and for no particular reason, I just kind of fight or flight pushed everybody away. And yeah, I think hanging out with your friends and really working on your relationship with your family, and like trying to take that as an opportunity to grow closer with, you know, your siblings and your parents and your grandparents, aunts and uncles, you know, that's what kind of helps you heal from that, something as devastating as that. So
Well, I want to talk about your art a little bit. But before I do, thank you for coming on, telling the story of how you became
it's
the
weird.
man
I've
that you are
never
today.
actually told that story before to anyone except for the people that know about it, like my brother and my parents.
How do you feel right now?
Feel good. It's easy to talk about. It's so long ago. But I'm gonna have to use the bathroom. Real quick.
Yes, I might. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'll be right back.
I realize that in sometimes telling your backstory, it can be, I know you said you were good, but for some people it could be hard or heavy as you reflect on these things. And so to let your internal fire as you head out to see your friends tonight, I have something for you.
What?
My dear Julian,
Oh,
precious life is the greatest blessing I have ever received. The privilege of being your mom has been the highest honor and responsibility of my life, and I thank God for you every day. The day you were born into this world, the old me died, and I too was born again. I remember it vividly because my heart was cracked wide open in a way I had never experienced. That crack was deep and wide, and it was filled with an overflowing love and peace that remains with me now and always. Thank you for this priceless gift. Watching you transform into new versions of yourself has been magical and sacred. I brought my premature 5-pound baby boy, my little baby bird, home from the hospital, and then joyfully watched you grow into a chubby, curious, hilarious toddler who drew basketballs by the dozens every day at your miniature easel and learned the entire alphabet by 16 months in your bathtub with colorful foam letters. I loved watching you and Jackson become cape-wearing superheroes, conquering imaginary enemies together, which was really you two forging the lifelong bond of true brotherhood. And nothing makes me happier than seeing you both conquering the world today. Cherish that brotherhood all your life. It is rare and precious. As you grew from a little kid into an anxious, moody, Rubik's Cube solving phenom tween and then into a teenager, you faced challenges unique to most children that age. There was suffering in those years. At that time, I would have given absolutely anything to take that pain away from you. In hindsight, I'm glad I was not able to do that for you. Those painful and difficult experiences deepened what was already deep, steadied in you what was already steady, and supercharged your sensitivities to the people, energies, and world around you. Watching you transform your deep understanding into your beautiful music and art has been yet another gift for which I am grateful. This is the first adult version of you, and there will be many more to come. Julian, as you step into this next chapter, remember this. Stay true to your heart, keep creating fearlessly, and never lose that beautiful sensitivity that makes you who you are. The world needs exactly what only you can offer. May truth, light, and love illuminate your path day and always. You are loved beyond measure. I'm always right here, cheering you on, and I will remain your biggest fan. I love you to infinity and beyond. Mom, I almost made it. I almost made it without crying. I love you, buddy.
love you too, Mom. What was this? Oh, fuck. What? Oh, my God. You made me emotional.
Well, you get to keep that. I don't want that back. That's for you, brother.
Wow. Man, that was heavy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I just think I don't. My mom, she knows me better than I think anybody on this planet, and she knows parts of me that I don't even kind of actively think about. And like, I think when there's someone in your life that like notices little things like that, and then lets you know, like, I know you to your core. It's for me at least, like that's something that kind of like really tugs at the heartstrings for me. So, and I think she's the person in my life that knows me better than anybody ever. And because, obviously she's my mom. She watched me grow up. She knows what I've been through. And, you know, it's just like hearing, her say those things. And she does this every birthday I have. She writes me this long letter. And I try to act like it doesn't, like, make me get choked up, but it does every time. Because, like, when
when you hear things like that, when someone like knows you to your core like that, it really kind of like it shakes me, a lot, because I think, growing up, I never felt, seen very much, and like I didn't feel like people wanted to, take the time to really get to know me, especially as a child, like, elementary school kind of thing I was telling you about earlier. So, hearing someone say that, especially like my mom, that really kind of hits really hard for me. So.
Oh, glad I got to share that moment with you. Sorry that
Yeah.
we made you emotional on a podcast.
No one's ever able to do that with me, so congratulations.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. Yes, someone asked me recently if I emotionally ambush all my guests when they come
Do
on
you
the
do
show.
that? Usually?
That's a consistent practice now. I've been doing it for maybe
Wow.
20 episodes.
You're really good at that.
The reactions have been so cool, man. They've
Really?
been really cool.
I bet. It's crazy that you're able to just like get to someone's core like that so fast. From like, hey, how was your day? How was your Friday? To like that. It's fucking insane.
It's your Friday to that.
Yeah, it's just nuts.
You know what's interesting is when I first met you, I sensed that there is a fire inside of you. And I really wanted to be your friend so I could get to know what it was that made you you. And the first like 5, 6, 7 times I talked with you at the gym, I felt like I was just annoying you. Like,
No, you weren't. You weren't.
oh,
I'm
fuck,
just.
is this
I'm
guy
bad
talking
at,
to me
I'm
again?
bad. I'm not good at like, it takes, for me, I feel like it takes kind of some effort to, because that's why I feel like all my friends are super extroverted. Like, my best friend in college, he lives in San Marcos. He's like the most extroverted person I know, and the only reason he's probably my friend is because he was so persistent when we first like started hanging out about like coming over and jamming and stuff, and like, because for me, it's like, I'm not very good at the like. It takes a person that's like super extroverted to kind of get me out of my shell. So, because I feel like I'm very reserved, normally, and that's why I feel like most of my friends are like super outgoing and like, stuff like that.
Do you think in a way on like a conscious or subconscious level, you also like having extroverted friends because then
I
if you
do.
guys are like in a group,
Yeah,
they can sort of do all the
They kind of
talking?
do all the work, and I just got to sit there, and then I get to like, yeah. They're good at what I'm not good at doing. So that's a lot of my best friends are super extroverted. So yeah, they kind of do the work for me. So.
That's funny. Yeah, my good friend John, the one I mentioned to you that we've been hanging out every weekend.
Yeah.
He the first time we hung out outside of the gym, I remember he got this look on his face, almost like he was sad. And I said, "Are you okay? Do you want to talk about something?" And he was like, I hope I'm not ruining your Friday night." And I said, "Why? Why would you think you're ruining my Friday night?" And he's like, I'm a pretty boring person. I feel like there's so many other things you could be doing right now."
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, dude, I'm having a blast." He was asking me questions. I got to talk about myself. We went to a comedy club afterwards, laughed our asses off, walked Dirty Six after that. I had a great night, but it's always interesting when people lower the walls and they tell the truth. Like,
Yeah.
I would have never thought that's what he was thinking in his head was, I'm ruining this guy's Friday night because I'm so boring.
Yeah.
And he's let out open like other little truths to me too, and it's cool to get into his psyche and get into your psyche, because then it helps me if I have like someone else that comes into my life in the future and maybe they sort of act like you acted with me or John acted with me. I can remember like, oh, they think that they just failed that interaction.
Yeah,
So
that's
just
kinda-
keep pushing, because I'll get them eventually.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am with, meeting new people. I'm like, God, if it says something stupid, they're probably going to, I understand that.
You're single right now, right?
No, I got
You're
a
not?
girlfriend.
Is this the same one that you had when we talked at Gold's?
Yeah, we've been
So you
dating
guys have been, it's
Yeah.
been what, a year now, 2 years?
3 years.
Wow!
Almost 3 years.
What are you like with her, if you don't mind me asking?
She's really extroverted.
she's very extroverted. Talk to literally anybody. So that's why we met probably. But yeah, no, she's gotten me through a lot of like post high school like kind of adjusting stuff, and like she's also like going through her own stuff, and we kind of helped each other through that, and we're both doing pretty well right now. And like she's a engineering major, so she's like beyond me. She's a very like a workaholic. She's always working all the time. She's always calling me. She's like, I'm stressed. And I'm like, what are you stressed about? And like it's just always like school or work or whatever. And like so she's all over the place all the time, super extroverted, full throttle all the time, always 100%, But I like that about her because it kind of like it just her personality kind of forces me to like it highlights things that I need to be more like open to like meeting new people and being more extroverted and taking initiative with like social interactions and kind of like stuff like that. So just having her in my life, and like she kind of like pushes me in that way. She pushes me socially, and she kind of builds me up a lot and like makes me she's my motivation to work hard and like become something. So
One thing you could try, obviously you don't have to do this, but something I did when I moved to Austin was I have this note, and it's just called Austin. And I told myself when I moved here that every time I walked out that door, I would meet someone. And I would write down something about our interaction afterwards.
wow. Insane. Holy shit.
There's the end.
Wow.
Julio and Bucket. That's the last people I met. They're my neighbors. Filipino guy with the white lab. I see them walking all the time. And in that list, there's a mix of probably 90% people I'll never see again, but the other 10% have become some of my best friends and
And I
some
can
of my
imagine.
best episodes on the
feel like
podcast.
You're better at getting to someone's core than anyone I ever know. Like, you're like, tell me about your entire life. I want to know everything about you. Why are you the way that you are? And then like, I think that scares a lot of people. Not like because of you, but like.
No, I know what you mean.
Like
Yeah.
they're like, I've never had to talk about this with anybody. This guy's asking me to like talk about something I thought no one gave a shit about. Someone's like actually wants to know things about me. And I think a lot of people that's like, makes them feel really good. And I'm sure like a lot of these people that have been on this podcast, like I think some of those people, if I had to guess, have never heard anything like that in their entire lives. So
I remember one guy, one of the best comments I ever got was after he got his letter, his girlfriend did his, and after we ended the recording, he said that he felt like the whole experience just made him feel a little bit more relaxed.
that's how I felt last time I was here.
Really?
I felt very, like, just felt my shoulders drop after I left, and I was like, wow, it feels good.
And that makes me feel good too. I love
Yeah.
that I can give people that, because imagine how we could make the world a little bit better if we were all just a little bit more relaxed.
A little bit relaxed and not so ego-filled, trying to be better than everybody all the time,
Yeah.
you know.
I do wonder, 3 weekends ago, I invited about 125 people on the show
Wow.
because my pipeline of guests was getting really low. And out of those 125 invites, guess how many said yes?
How many? 5?
And I do wonder, to your point, how many go over to the Instagram page and they see what we're talking about, and then they're just like, I'm not fucking doing that.
Yeah, probably a lot.
70%? 80%?
Probably a lot, yeah. I think it's just because most people, like, they like to keep that very, like, closed off, and I'm like that. I mean, this is, like, I don't do this ever. Last time I talked like this was last time I was here, so, because I feel like, especially nowadays, you're trying to, like,
perform like you got it all figured out and like you got no problems and stuff, you know. And I feel like because everyone does that, it just fuels it more because they're like, oh well, everybody else seems fine, that means I have to do it too. But that's what everybody else is thinking too. So it's really interesting to me, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
Well, I definitely hope you come back again.
I do too.
And
This
we're
is-
going to talk
this is
about
good.
next episode. I imagine now that we've got the story out there, is we're just going to laugh and talk about art.
Yeah.
I've had a couple buddies who have come on a couple times, and once they get to like 3, 4, 5 times, it's fun because we just talk shit. We're just dudes talking shit for 2 or 3 or 4 hours. Like my buddy Isaac came on for his 4th one, and we were talking about times that we both encountered paranormal entities, and we were
That'd
talking
be
about
so
sex
cool.
stories.
I could talk
And
about the fucking UFOs and shit. I've been into that since I love the X-Files when I was a kid. That was like my favorite show ever. And ever since that, I was like, I would give anything to see a fucking flying saucer, some crazy shit fly across the sky. And like they're releasing all the UFO shit now, and I'm like, okay, well, where the fuck are they? I want to see one.
yeah, have you ever? Oh yeah, we got 6 minutes, or maybe even 16. You said like 6:40 at the latest.
I mean, I don't think they're there yet, so I got like 30 more minutes probably.
Have you ever encountered anything paranormal?
Okay, one thing I will say this. The one thing that I can remember, I was 11, and we have a farm out in, well, I have 2 incidences, because that reminded me of another one. So 2 that I vividly remember.
Let's go.
And there was, like, witnesses. My dad was there, my brother was there. We all saw it, both times. But we have a hay farm on my dad's side of the family. We all have a hay farm in Calhoun, Louisiana. It's about 30 minutes outside of Monroe. And we were driving there. It's about a 6.5-hour drive. And I remember I was sitting in the back seat. My brother was, he was on like the passenger side in the back seat. And I was like looking out the window, and I was like playing some game on my iPad mini. It's like Minecraft or something. It's like 11 years old or so. And I saw this thing in the sky, and initially I thought it was like a plane or something. But I looked at it longer, and it started getting a little closer, and I'm not shitting you. It was like this perfectly round chrome sphere in the fucking sky. And I was like, there's no fucking way I'm seeing this right now. This is so sick. I was like, there's no way. So I was like, I need to look at it longer. Okay, so it's fucking here. And then it just fucking, boom, moves like that. Moves up and then, like, fades. And my brother saw it because I pulled it. I was like, Dad, what is that? And my brother looked, and they all saw it. And when it faded, we were, like, silent for, like, a good 5 minutes. We were like, what the fuck did we just see? What the hell was that? That was the most insane, vivid fucking thing. And, like, I would say that's the most insane. And then the second thing, this was, like, I think a few years, like 2 years earlier. It was around that same time, give or take a few years. We were at my uncle's house, and he has, like, a farmhouse on our hay farm. And I was sitting on the deck with my brother and my dad. It was at night. There was a clear sky. You could see all the stars because out there there's no light pollution. You can like see the Milky Way when it's like really dark. But I was looking at this like thing. I thought it was a helicopter because it was like moving real slow, and then it just accelerates like crazy fast, stops, zigzags around, stops, and then vanishes. And we were all like, what the actual fuck was that? And those are the only 2 times I've seen some crazy shit in the sky. I've never seen anything with ghosts or like anything of that nature, like the occult or anything like that. But with aliens and shit or whatever the fuck I saw in the sky, I don't know what that was, but I was like, maybe it's like some DARPA fucking crazy advanced, it's top secret, I don't know what the fuck. But like, those are those 2 things that I've seen. I cannot explain it. I don't know what the fuck that was. So,
Did you ever hear about the plane that was in the China-Japanese area that disappeared?
no,
I think it was
I
like 10 or 20 years ago.
I don't think I've heard about that.
Fair enough. Can I tell you mine?
Yeah.
So it was probably in 2022, and I went to bed. It was around Christmas time, and I remember like my Christmas lights. I plugged, had to unplug from the wall. I had lights that I also put up around like the perimeter of the room. I unplugged those, turned off all the lights. I like sleeping in pitch black, so I turned off everything. I didn't jump into bed. At about 2 in the morning, I woke up and I was all the way underneath my comforter,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember waking up and just feeling instant terror. That's never
Was
happened
it like
to me
sleep
before.
paralysis, or do you just wake up?
I woke up, but I had this feeling that there is someone at the foot of my bed. So I threw my comforter off, like ready to fight. I remember I waited like a second or two, and then I was like, I need to move because this thing's about to jump on me, and I need to be ready. So I throw off my comforter, thinking I'm gonna scare it, and there's no one there, but every single light in the home was on. The Christmas tree was plugged back in.
What?
The light
Are you
walls
fucking
were
serious?
plugged back in.
Are you talking about this place?
No, it was back in a. I wouldn't live here anymore if this had happened in this
Oh
place.
yeah, no, fuck that.
And so I remember I got something from my closet to try to use as a weapon, and I immediately looked under my bed first because I was so sure there is another presence in the house. Like, you know how when you have a cat or a dog or like
Yeah.
you live with someone, even if you don't see them, like you just sort of know there's
Yeah.
someone here with me.
Right.
I thought I knew it. I was like, someone is somewhere in here. So I go to the bathroom next, which is right outside my room. Fling open the shower curtain, no one there. Turn around real quick because the bathroom leads to the family room. I go to the family room, no one there. All the lights on. I check the doors, the windows, everything's locked. I open the front door expecting to see someone out there. I sort of look up and down the street to see if anyone's running away or if there's any cars driving. Look at the front door to see if maybe it looked like anyone tried to fuck with the lock to unlock it. Nothing. And I will never be able to explain. And I was stone cold sober that night because my brother is like, "Oh, you probably just got drunk and did it in your sleep." And I was like, "No, I did not get drunk and do it
What
in my
the
sleep."
fuck? I love shit like that. Like it's just so cool to me. Like paranormal, like shit you can't explain. I was obsessed with that shit when I was a kid. But I love that feeling of like, what the fuck was that?
So you believe in aliens, or at least some sort of
I-
life outside
I
of?
believe that there is definitely shit out there 100%. Is it on the planet? Are they like flying down? I don't know. I'm not going to say no and I'm not going to say yes. Cuz I did see some really weird shit in the sky, but also like, you know, the government works on really top secret shit they don't let anybody find out about. I know the CIA's done some really fucked up shit. I know they've like done like a lot of like, you know, the MK Ultra thing and like Plot Project Mockingbird and like, you know, all these different like really fucked up shit that they hid from the public. I know they lied and stuff like that. So there's got to be some really top secret like weapons or aircrafts that they're, you know, not telling us about that they're working on right now. And there's a lot of stuff coming out about like UAPs and stuff recently.
What's
like
that stand for?
unidentified aerial phenomenon. It's like used to be UFO, but they changed it. So, but there's a lot of stuff coming out about that I've been seeing all over the internet, and like I don't know what to really make of it because a lot of people are saying different stuff. They're like, oh, they're just giving us like breadcrumbs, like show us the thing, like show us a fucking high resolution image of this stuff. Like if you have it, like stop giving us these like grainy things. There was like that Tic Tac video. Have you seen that? Where it's like the Tic Tac shaped object captured by the, I think it was like an F-16 pilot, and they were doing a training exercise, and there was like this Tic Tac shaped thing about the size, I think they said it was the size of a car. It went from like 0 to like 35,000 miles, 15,000 miles an hour in like half a second. And then it was like went up and do these crazy like maneuvers and stuff. I don't know what to make of that. Like, you know, there's just not enough out there for me to like make a educated opinion on it. But I definitely think there is alien life out there. Like, I think there's intelligent life out there in the universe. Is it near us? Is it on the planet? I don't know. But I do think it's out there. I think just, like, statistically speaking, there is, I would say. There's too many chances for life to evolve and too much time for it to happen.
So I can't believe you didn't hear about this. Here's a very short summary of what I was referencing.
Okay.
The disappearance of Malaysia Airline Flight 370. It disappeared on March 8th, 2014, while traveling from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing with 239 people on board. Despite one of the largest and most expensive search efforts in aviation history, the main wreckage has never been found, which is why it became such a massive global mystery.
That's so weird.
But these were like 239 people, so there were families that never will know like how their brother, their parent, their sister, their uncle died, if they're even dead, because and there's all sorts of theories. Like the government tried a teleportation system and it fucked up, and sent them all to space. There's a theory that the pilot had some stuff at his house that looked sus, and maybe he's was committed suicide by like crashing the plane into the sea with all the people on board. And then there's another third theory that's pretty big that I'm forgetting. But yeah, they sent out hundreds of ships, hundreds of planes. They searched for this thing for a while, and just no evidence ever came up.
That's so weird. I don't know.
I
don't know.
This podcast is going to be titled, I don't know.
No, I love shit like that. I'll stay up till like 3 a.m. like watching conspiracy theory videos.
What's your favorite one?
Probably the alien one. That's my favorite.
Just aliens in general.
Aliens in general. Anything alien related, I love watching.
Do you ever watch Independence Day, that 90s movie?
I haven't.
Really?
I've seen Close Encounters though. That's fucking good one.
That one is good.
That one, and then Signs.
Yeah,
that's a good one. I like the ones that are like that. Like the ones that are like, that's why I loved like Stranger Things, specifically season 1. I didn't like any of the other seasons. Season 2 was alright, but like I liked season 1, the way it was shot, where it's like the government's doing sketchy paranormal shit with aliens and shit like that. They're like I love shit like that. Like, ever since I was a kid. Like, X-Files, Stranger Things Season 1, any movie about aliens, but specifically like that. Not like Alien, like the movie Alien. And, like, also Prometheus. I fucking love that movie. It's like the prequel to Alien. I've watched all of those movies. Love that shit. But specifically, like, the kind of conspiracy theory, like, government kind of like Department of Energy kind of like shit like that. I fucking love shit like that. That's my favorite kind of movie, TV show stuff.
Did you see Stranger Things season 3?
I've seen all of it.
See, I know 3. Remember at the very end where they kill the alien by throwing the fireworks at it?
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite scenes.
Oh, yeah?
And favorite episodes.
My favorite part of that, the reason like I kind of like, I still like enjoyed it, I think it's like I didn't like the last season. I thought that was like a terrible ending.
Yeah.
They didn't take any risks. It was just like, I think they just kind of half-assed the writing thing. But the first season, when you couldn't really see what the Demogorgon looked like for most of it, like this kind of like mysterious, like what the fuck is that thing? Like, you, even as the audience, like, you kind of found out what it looked like with the characters. Like, it wasn't like you saw what it looked like or where it came from off the rip, and then that you watch the characters figure it out, but you already know like everything. Like, I just loved when they had that kind of ominous mystery.
Yes.
Like, season 1 was like scary. Like, I watched it when I was like, I think 10 or 11. And being 10 or 11, like, I couldn't sleep at night.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You're having nightmares about the Demogorgon?
Yeah, I watched it at my family's hay farm, and there was, like, my fucking dad kept saying, like, you can come and get your ass. And I was like,
Don't
10,
say that.
I was like 10, I think, or 10 or 11, freaking out. I was like, but, yeah, no, I like that season, because, like, it was mysterious. It was, like, darker, I feel like, and, like, more fucked up, and, like, there's like this like mother, she lost her son, like he's missing, she knows what happened, she saw some weird shit, no one believes her, like, and you're like, oh my god, that would be horrible if you had to like you knew your son was missing, you knew what happened, you saw it with your own two eyes, but no one believes you. Like I like that season was great.
Season 1 was the best for sure.
Oh yeah, that, and then season 2 was pretty good too, where it was like you had this creepy ass like mind, like the big shadow thing.
Yes.
Like when you didn't really know, like when there was an element of mystery, that's when it was really good. But when they started like, when it just started, then after that, I feel like it started just being like a comic book. It felt like you were watching a Marvel movie, or like, you know, and then it wasn't like, there was no like, it wasn't scary anymore, you know? Like, it wasn't like, that's freaky. Like season 5 felt like a superhero movie and not like a horror show.
Season 5 was such a bummer.
No,
It wasn't
terrible.
bad. One scene that was good that I enjoyed was when we saw Vecna for the first time and he comes through the gate and he just fucking shoots his arm out
Yeah, that
at the
one was
guy.
pretty cool.
That was a sick scene.
That was pretty cool. I just think that season, just like, there was just so much like stupid bullshit that just like didn't need to be in the show. And you're just like, and it was all over the place. There wasn't like, they didn't take any risks. It was like very much like, let's take the least amount of risk with story writing as we possibly can. So they didn't kill off any main characters. There was no like, the final fight was fucking terrible, because like it was like, you've got this like interdimensional like immortal god being, and then these like fucking like what, like 6 kids just throw some like Molotov cocktails at it and like shoot it with like a gun, and then it dies. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. It was just really bad. I think I think they should have done like a darker kind of like the good guys lose. I think they should have just made it like they don't win in the end, or like they make it seem like they win, and then it's like, actually no.
That actually would have been a cool way to go, a
They should
direction to
have
go
done
with
that,
it.
because they never do. They always like, it's just like plot armor.
Well,
you
that's
know?
like I don't know if you saw it. I know. Did you see the Avengers movie where at the end of the movie? Did you watch the Avengers movies?
Oh yeah, no, I know all that shit. I've read all the comics.
When they killed off half the population at the end of
Infinity War.
like that was actually a really
I
great
love that
scene.
movie. That
That-
in game was great. That was to me, that's the last good Marvel movie. But I think Doomsday, the one that's coming out like in December of this year, is gonna be really good. Cause I'm excited for it. I hope because it's gonna be like a 4.5 hour long movie, I think.
Jesus,
But
I'll
I'm
watch that one
excited
at
for
home.
it.
Did you? How do you feel? Did you see Michael by chance? The movie about Michael Jackson that just came out recently.
No, but like all my friends saw it and they said it was really good. I want to go see it.
It was really good.
That's what I heard.
I really, so I saw that not knowing I was going to see it. My friends just hit me up and they were like, "Hey, we're going to the movies. Do you want to come?" I said, "Yeah, get me a ticket." I show up, we get our popcorn, we sit down, and I realized, I was like, I don't even know what we're about to see. And I was thinking about asking them. I was like, fuck it, whatever. And then the movie it opens with just a silhouette of him right before he takes the
Oh,
stage,
shit.
and I immediately knew, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this or not, because I don't really watch stuff like this. I loved it. It was. I don't
That's
know
what I
how.
heard.
I don't know a lot about his life, so I don't know how true or not true it was. But it's for just entertainment purposes. Very fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. Everyone said it was like one of my friends, he's like a huge Michael Jackson fan, and he was like, just fucking amazing. So I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, when he finally did, not to do any, this isn't really a spoiler. When they finally did Thriller, when they showed him writing it,
really?
I was like, let's go, because that's my favorite song of his. And then when they
Oh, yeah.
performed it, I was just like, I got chills up and down my spine.
My favorite Michael
great.
Jackson song is Earth Song. You know that one?
I don't know if I do or not.
Fucking amazing.
How's it go?
I can't remember.
Your
I can't
favorite
say-
song?
No, I can remember, but I can't like. It's just good. You gotta listen to it.
What are you listening to these days?
Right now, let me look. I've been getting back into new metal. I haven't listened. I had a huge new metal phase in my senior year of high school, so I've been listening to like a lot of like Seven Dust, and then my friend showed me this band, Nerve Pinch. I've been listening to them, and like Puddle of Mud, and then Pearl Jam, and Toadies. I've been listening to a lot of Pearl Jam recently, and Audio Slave too. been circling back on Audio Slave and Soundgarden. And then I've been getting back into Queens of the Stone Age too. And then one of my favorite band in the last few years is definitely Catherine Wheel. Fucking love Catherine Wheel. And then been getting into Guns N' Roses. I haven't listened to a whole lot of Guns N' Roses since I was like in middle school, and then I kind of started circling back on them like a few months ago. And then you know, obviously I'm always listening to Alice in Chains. You know, just that's a consistent band I listen to a lot. And then like Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, I've always consistently listened to them over the course of my life. But with newer bands I recently started listening to, here I'm just scrolling, The Verve, Sade, however you say it. She's really good. 880 South, they're like a ska band. One of my friends from San Marcos put me on. Stained is like that post grunge. You know, Stained is good. I fuck with Stained. What else? Fuel. Listen to Fuel recently. Three Doors Down I started listening to because the singer died recently, I think like a month ago, 2 months ago. So I've been kind of listening to them a little bit. They're really good.
I don't know if we talked about. No, we didn't talk about them. One of my favorite bands, The Broken View, just dropped a new album.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I was playing when you came in. I know you only got a couple seconds. Did you like what you heard?
Yeah, no, it's like really good. I like the it's like that very kind of like Bring Me the Horizon kind of metal. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a more kind of like pop, kind of ballady metal. I don't know. I know there's a name for that genre.
Bring Me the Horizon is a good comparison for them.
Yeah,
they're not identical, but
no, but they have that same like very big, powerful, like ballady kind of. You know, they combine like a lot of like more modern sort of metal with electronic, with pop, and like, you know, I saw Bring Me the Horizon like a few years ago. That he did a song with Lil Uzi Vert. It's pretty good.
That's Amen, right?
No, it's Werewolf, or maybe they did more. I don't know. I don't listen to Lil Uzi Vert very much, but
wasn't that the one where it almost sounded more like a Bring Me the Horizon song?
yeah, that
yeah,
one.
we talked about that one in the gym.
It's basically, it was like Bring Me the Horizon featuring Lil Uzi Vert for like maybe 15 seconds, but no, they're great, and yeah, I don't know how to describe that, but I really like. I started listening to The Broken View, and you told me about them, so I was like kind of listening. I was like, these guys are great. The vocalist super talented, and the drummer's insane. Like,
and you could tell the audience loves the new album because they toured and they did a show in Dallas. And I drove
really?
out there for it. Dude, the crowd was on fire in a way I was like, they are reacting so good. I was too.
That's so
and they
cool.
did a cover of Breaking the Habit.
By who?
So The Broken View did a cover of Breaking the Habit by Linkin Park.
Oh, really?
It was...
Dude, Linkin Park is fucking... I bet that was insane.
You saw the whole audience like take a step closer to the stage. Everyone saying every word. The people were throwing their fists up. One lady started crying. I got chills down my back. That always happens to me with music. That's what music does to me. Gives me chills.
So cool.
They did it so well. The way Austin sang, I was just like, oh, baby, let's go.
And you're friends with those guys, right?
Yeah.
That's so fucking cool. Do they get you like free tickets sometime?
No. But I don't mind paying because they're
You
all...
gotta find some better...
Well, I like to support them, though. You know,
yeah.
like when comedic comment...
I do the same thing with my friends that are in bands. Like, Identity Crisis played a show like a month ago in Austin, and went and saw them. They were fucking pretty damn good. Yeah. And then like they were playing for this band Return to Dust. I've been following them for a while, and I got to see them for the first time live. And they were fucking outstanding performers too. So that was fucking cool.
Do you know who Hans Zimmer is?
Yeah.
He came to the U.S. and he did like one show in New York and one in Austin. So me and Tyler went and watched. It was so good.
Oh, dude, I bet. I think one of my friends saw them. or saw him, and he said it was like completely, like he was jaw on the floor, insane. I want to see him. I want to see
Hopefully he
him.
comes back again. I'd go see, even if he did the
said
exact
he
same.
came to Austin?
He came to Austin.
Fuck, dude. Whenever he comes back, I'll go see him.
Yeah, come with us.
All right,
Yeah, let's put a little group together.
let's do it.
Is there anything you want to plug before we get you out of here?
If any of y'all are interested in seeing some of my my paintings and whatnot, you can go follow me on Instagram. My username is _ Julian Kennedy _. I got some like guitar stuff on there too, but mainly art. Like my website links on there too. If you're interested in seeing the prices or inquiring about something, if anyone's interested in buying something like that, or if you're in Austin and you want to come see some of my work, it's at Laura Rathie Fine Art in Austin.
I haven't seen this one yet. I like that one.
Oh, that was a long time ago. I think that was just in my sketchbook. I was just fucking around.
I like the guy on the top right.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the zombie.
Yeah. Oops, what'd I do? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think that post was just a bunch of random shit from my sketchbook. But yeah, if you want to see my stuff, you just go on my Instagram. I got all sorts of shit on there. Some guitar videos and different kinds of art and paintings I've made over the years. So there's kind of a big archive of everything I've done since I was in like high school. I think I kept most of the stuff. There might even be some stuff from when I was in middle school too. I don't know, but it's all up there. So if you want to see some cool art, and if you're interested, if it's your taste, most of it's for sale. So
I don't know. I don't think I told you this. Would it surprise you if I told you that your first episode was probably in the top 5 listened to date?
oh really?
Mm-hmm.
That is surprising.
Yeah, when I pulled it this morning to listen to it myself, I was like, holy fuck. I didn't know this. Because I don't look at the numbers very
Oh,
much. In fact, I try to ignore them. But yeah, dude, it's based off the numbers I saw, it's got to be in the top 5.
Wow, I would not expect that.
I would have. It was a good conversation.
That was a really good conversation.
Yeah.
But didn't you have like some like a Navy SEAL or something?
An Army Ranger is in the
That's
top
probably
5.
what it was.
3 comedians are in the top 5.
Oh, yeah. I bet that was.
The sex
fucking
cult lady
cool.
is pretty high at this point.
Oh yeah, that's can't get much crazier than that.
No.
That's insane.
Yeah. Escaping a sex cult is something people like to listen to.
Oh yeah, I mean, fuck. Yeah. Well, that's cool. I did not know that.
Yeah. Well, Julian, as I mentioned in the intro to the episode about why I do this, the kid that came up to me and just wanting to ignite fires within young people all over the world. I had this thought while I was walking Thad about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I thought, what if every creative out there just injected as much art into the universe as we could? If we just through poetry, podcasts, art, music, and people who are navigating very dark situations could see beauty in the world through what we're doing, could that give them enough of a fire to, instead of doing something sad, to turn around and say, you know what, maybe I'll release that first song. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll release that first picture. So
I think anyone is capable. Like, just because you make art or make music, it doesn't make you like different or special. I feel like it's just you have the balls to put it out there and actually do it, or you have a skill that you've like having a skill that you're in a means of putting it out there. But I think everyone is capable of creating art and creating music, but it's just the tool or the means in which you do that. Some people it's like film or music or poetry or literature or from like visual art or whatever. But I do think I think we used to live in a world like that where people would do that and it was more common because like obviously nowadays we have the internet and like Netflix and TikTok and like shit to keep us entertained all the time. So I think nowadays there's a lot less of an incentive to do that, but I do think it's going to come back pretty soon because I think people are really sick of these endless bullshit on like TikTok and like AI generated crap and like because you can only because nowadays there's so much stimulation on your phone that it gets to a point where it can't get any more you can't have. There's a point where you can only absorb so much media to where you're like, okay, this is like too much. Like, it's gonna get to a point where people are gonna be like, you know what, I'm gonna go see a show. You know, I'm gonna go buy a ticket and go see a show, like a band play, or I'm gonna go to a museum. Like, people are gonna eventually, I feel like, want to experience something real, and not just like, because it's easy to like stay at home and watch a movie, or it's easy to, you know, stay at home and, you know, doom scroll Instagram reels all day. But I think people are gonna like get bored of that very quickly, because there really isn't that much of a thrill. It gives you just enough dopamine to keep doing it, but not enough for it to be like an experience you remember. You know, and I think people are gonna get sick of this shit. They're gonna be, I'm tired of just looking at my fucking phone all day. Let's go like do some shit. Let's go like support like the local music scene, or let's go like go to a museum, find some cool art, or
Go
like,
to a comedy club if
yeah,
you live
like
in Austin.
go
Laugh.
do shit, you know, like. So I think it's gonna happen eventually. I think it's gonna get a whole lot worse before it gets better, but I do think it will get better. With like people wanting to, you know, there's people like, I feel like a lot of people in my generation that I've noticed, at least people that are really into music, like people are like buying CDs now and like vinyls, and like they have like a stereo system. Because I think people want to own, like, it's a completely different thing when you have like a playlist on your phone for like a subscription service like Spotify, versus owning a physical copy of an album. Because like you're not like paying per month, because you don't own the music on your phone. But if you have a physical album, like, this is mine, like I own this. I don't have to pay a subscription to keep this on my shelf or in my collection. You know, it's a physical thing that you own. And also, I just enjoy collecting them, and I have a lot of friends that are like really into collecting it. Like, they have way more shit than I do, but like having a music collection like that, it's like a tangible physical thing that you own that's yours. And I think that feels good. You know, it's like, this is my CD, and no one can take it from me, it's mine. And versus like, if you cancel your subscription to Spotify, you know, your music's all gone. It's not your music, you're renting the music. You know.
That's a good point.
So that's kind of how I see it. And it's like this cool like ritual of like opening up the turntable case and then putting your record on, and then hooking it up to your stereo, and then hooking it up to your amplifier, and then like, you know, dialing in the bass and the treble and the mids right, just right to what you want. And it's like this like ritual thing, you know. It's like, it feels good. You slide it out of the sleeve, and then you put it on the table, and like you sit back and you get to listen to it. Like, it's like a thing, you know, versus like playing it on your phone. I don't know. Feels like you experience the music more. But I think that's just for people, like, some people don't really care about music that much, which I don't understand. But like people that do, like, it's a big part of my life. Like, when you get to like, when you're obsessed with it, and you want to listen to all of it, and you want to absorb every decibel, like, I don't know. But I do feel like people are gravitating more towards that, more like simplicity, or like enjoying their time that's not just on their phone. Like, and I think that's a lot more common in cities like Austin. Like, you have a lot of people, like, people are outside all the time. I feel like most people here are into fitness, and you know.
That's one thing I love about Austin. And when you drive downtown, like on a Saturday or Sunday morning, there's just people everywhere.
Yeah, I
whether they're
know.
walking, jogging, enjoying a cup of coffee,
I know.
walking to the Blanton, like,
It's
people are
good.
just doing stuff, and it's
know.
like, I love that people. We're out here.
know.
We're living.
Versus like, you go to like, you know, I live in San Marcos right now, and it's like complete different world. Like, it feels like whenever I drive into Austin, it's like someone turns up the saturation filter or whatever. Like, because I feel like in San Marcos, there's like absolutely nothing to do there. I mean, there's some stuff to do. Like, there's some like cool bars, and there's like the river, but it's not like Austin. Not
Yeah.
even close. You know, so
We're lucky to live here.
I know. I want to move back here.
Please do.
When I can, because I miss living here. I want to hopefully move back in the next year or so. So
Well, now that you're making a little bit more coin,
yeah,
hopefully you can make that,
definitely.
or whatever, if you want it.
I want to save up some more, just so it's like, I want to make the right financial decision, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, if I move here, I want to get like a nice place. I don't want to like get like if I can only afford like some like rundown like shithole, then I'm not gonna move here. But if I can afford a place like this, that I think is like the perfect size, and like this is also a really good location. So if I can find a place like this, that'll be fucking perfect.
Rent right here right now is only $1,300 a month.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. I thought it was like gonna be way more. I guess like in my head I'm like Austin, Texas, it's gonna be fucking expensive, but that's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
Well shit, dude. I'd have to look into this place or something. This is a great area
That'd
too.
be crazy if we were like, if we were neighbors.
That'd be cool.
Because then we could hang out whenever, whether it was like 30 minutes. Hey, you want to come over and have
Yeah.
coffee before we go to work or whatever the thing is, you know, that'd
Let's
be
do
sick.
it. Yeah.
And when we don't want to see each other, we have our own spaces and we just don't see each
There
other.
you go. And then I can come on the podcast more and
You could.
talk about bullshit all day.
Yeah, conspiracy theories and
Yeah, all that stuff.
we can work on your getting you talking, practicing talking.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, I do miss living here because like I grew up here and then you moved to San Marcos and you're like, this sucks. I want to go back to Austin. But I got some good friends in San Marcos too. But all my like good like, I think a few of my friends in San Marcos are planning on moving here anyway. So then if I can have all my friends in San Marcos that I met in college, and then all my friends from high school that are moving back here, and have my whole group here, it'll be fucking cool.
Sorry, it's not you. It's this. That's why I slowed down. I was like, "Oh, this is making me sleepy." Yeah, one of my buddies asked me if they moved out to Kyle, if I would when my lease ended. I was like, "I don't think I should
Oh,
because
fuck
with
that.
the podcast."
Don't move to fucking Kyle, dude. You're gonna be like, this is depressing as shit. No, don't move there.
Well, and could you imagine if I'm asking people to drive out there for the podcast?
Yeah. Also, there's like way more interesting people here, and like, also those cities down there, like between like, what I've noticed at least, like between San Antonio and Austin, like San Marcos, I would say is like the best out of all of them, because there's like it's more like it's a college town. There's like, more stuff to do there, but like Kyle and Buda, like in a lot of outskirts of San Marcos, it's like just parking lots and like chain fast food everywhere, and there's no like nature at all. It's just like highways, parking lots, Walmarts.
Oh.
And you're just like, I don't want to like wake up in the morning, step out on my balcony, it smells like gasoline. And you're just like, and then you just found out someone got like shot on the square on Halloween. 3 people, like, I think someone died. 3 people. There's like a shootout on the square, and you're kind of just like, oh, like it's not even shocking anymore. You're just like, But yeah, I miss living here because like there's like Silker, there's the Greenbelt, there's all these different like parks and stuff. There's trees, like real trees, and like grass and stuff.
That's why another thing I like about Austin downtown is it's like half nature.
I know, and it's next to
It's
the
so
lake.
cool.
You can go on the lake. Like there's so much shit to do. Go on runs. Like I don't like running. I suck at running. But like if I did want to go run, I could. But yeah.
Yeah, if you moved in here, imagine having a porch with a view like that.
Yeah, my view
That's
on
sick.
my balcony is just like it looks like Soviet Russia.
Oh God.
Soviet Russia, but it's like 90 degrees. And then like you walk to your car and like the asphalt like irradiates the heat back up to you, so then it like feels hotter and it's humid and you're sweating and you're like, ugh.
Come back to Austin.
I know.
We want
to.
you, Julian.
Yeah,
Your
my
mom
family
would be
lives
happy.
here. My friends live here. There's like the music scene here is like way better. There's like nowhere to play in San Marcos except for like some. They have like a few bars, but the stages are like the size of this carpet.
It's not very big.
It sucks, but your carpet doesn't suck, but the stage do.
No,
But,
I like this carpet. Yeah.
But then like here you have like Come and Take It. You got Empire. You got Mohawk. You got like all sorts of places.
I haven't been to Mohawk yet. I need to get
Dude,
out there.
Mohawk's fucking insane. I saw Helmet there. I fucking love Helmet. Helmet's a great band. But I saw them play like last year, I think in April, and they're like old. All of them are like really old, but everyone in the audience was around my age, and it was like a fucking madhouse. It's like a hurricane. The mosh pit was insane. I caught like bunch of elbows to my face. But you don't even feel it because your adrenaline's so high. And then you get off and you're like, God damn, I have a fucking headache. My face hurts. You look in the mirror, you have a giant black eye and your nose is bleeding. But it's so fun. It was so much fun. So if you like heavy stuff, that's the place to go. But there's a bunch of different kinds of bands that play there. And they have like a small indoor stage. I've played on the small indoor stage once. And then there's the outdoor stage, which is like the big stage. It's super cool. Fucking love that. I've been going to the Mohawk since I was like a junior in high school to see like local bands play. Like a few of my friends from high school, their bands played there. Super cool. And then Empire was really good. I saw Gary Newman there with my dad, and that shit was fucking insane. Their sound system over there is so good. There's just, you feel it. But the music scene is here. I miss the music scene in Austin. You know, and I miss going to the Mohawk and the Empire, and it's like all like so close together. Except for fucking Uber costs more than a ticket.
Dude, the other night we went out and my buddy, he drove, he paid for parking. We got out there 14 minutes after parking expired and they had already booted his truck.
Damn.
And so he called, and while we were waiting for them to come unlock it, which they charged him $100 for, we noticed that the people doing the booting got like several cars, and I was like, were they just out here waiting for things to expire?
Yeah, that happened to me one time. Guess because I was, I think I was a junior in high school, and I was with like two of my friends, and there was like this smoke shop, and they like low key sold weed, like on the down low, like under the table, and we like kind of knew the guy that worked there, and we're like, dude, we need to get some weed, man, and like, there's like a Torchy's Tacos, it was the one like next to campus, and I parked my car there, and I was like, okay, let's run in, run out immediately, like, because I don't want to get, like, towed. And we're like, okay. We were there it took us 25 seconds, because the guy just had the shit there, and he was just like, money, boom, weed, left, across the street. I was out of my car for probably 25 seconds. We get back, and there's a boot on my car.
Jesus.
And there's some fucking motherfucker.
I know what you were about to say.
Yeah, I always forget I'm not around my friends right now. But anyway.
I'm your friend. I was going to say, we're not friends at this point.
I don't want to get canceled.
We've only worked out together a dozen times, been on 2 podcasts together, text each other all the time. What do I have to fucking do? I gave you a birthday gift?
You're not good enough. It's not big enough Legos.
It's not big enough.
But anyway, I don't want to get canceled. I want to get canceled.
I think that word is being said everywhere by everyone.
I know.
It's back in the what's the thing called? I don't know. It's back in our vocabulary.
I know. That's one of my favorite. I'm not gonna incriminate myself. Just kidding. I don't know. But anyway.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Especially now that you're selling art, and
yeah,
I guess you should censor yourself a
Can't
little bit.
be caught, you know. Especially like a lot of artists don't, you know. You gotta be careful. You know, I'm not around my fucking degenerate friends.
You're degenerate friends.
But anyway, you're not a degenerate friend. Don't
Thank
worry.
you.
But anyway, so I got out of my car in this fucking boot, and then this dude in a vest with this like patchy mustache. He's like, "You have to pay this," and I'm like, "Dude, are you fucking kidding me?" I was gone for 20. He was like, "Yeah, it's my job," and I'm like, "Yeah, fuck you, dude." Fuck you, dude. I genuinely, like, I was so mad. He made me, it was like $200 fucking dollars. $250. And I was like broke. I was a broke 16-year-old who just got my license. Had no money. It drained my whole bank account. I was so pissed. I only had like $300 in my bank account, and all of it was gone.
Just seems like such a dirty way to make money.
Yeah, like, if you do that, if anyone's watching you do that for a living, fuck you.
Middle finger. Do it to
Fuck
that.
you, dude.
Do it to that one.
Oh.
There you go.
Fuck you. Get a different job. Yeah. Fuck
What a
those
note
guys.
to end on. Well, Julian, keep inspiring others. I'm very glad that your hard work is paying off.
I
Literally,
appreciate that. It was a really good conversation.
that was a
Thank
good
you
conversation.
for all the work you put into like preparing all the questions and all this stuff, and you know, It was a really good time.
You're welcome. It's fun. I like getting
And
ready
thank you
for
for my
these.
Lego set.
You're
I'm gonna
welcome.
build it when I get home.
I'm glad you liked it. When I bought it, I was like, I really
It
hope
was
he likes
perfect. It's gonna look
Legos.
great under my TV next to my, because I have a middle finger candle my dad gave me. It's gonna look really good next to that.
It's gonna be perfect. They're gonna complement each other so well.
I know. That's super cool though. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. To the audience, thank you guys as always for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, do me a favor. It'll cost none of your money, only take about 5 seconds of your time. Hit that follow button if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. And if you do that, you may help us reach whatever kid, young person would benefit from hearing Julian's story. And I would just be ever so grateful to you. And my commitment to you guys will be to keep finding awesome guests like Julian to come on the show and tell you stories for free every Saturday night. Guys, stay healthy, stay happy. We'll see you next week. Bye.